This morning when I was out running, I was thinking about the people that strive to make it to the Boston Marathon and what it takes to get to the Boston Marathon. I will never get to the Boston Marathon, and there's a couple of reasons. One, I'm not an elite runner. Two, it's not a goal of mine. However, I was able to parallel that with people who want to get on top podcast shows and what it takes to get on top podcast shows and what it takes to get on to the morning shows on the national broadcast stations, what it takes to get on to NPR. And it takes preparation, it takes time, it takes experience. Hi, this is Kathleen Gage with Power Up for Profits and the 100 Club for podcast opportunities. And it's really interesting because a lot of times people want to go from never having been on a podcast show to being on some of the top shows with nothing in between. That's like saying, I've never run in my life, but I'm going to run in the Boston Marathon. You can't do that. You have to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Now, I've done a lot of races, and I started racing in my 60s, so it's kind of a late in life sport, and I love it, and I'll never be an elite runner. I already know that. However, I love running in a lot of different races, and I just put a picture up to show you some of the medals that I've gotten from races I've been in the last few years. And it's something that brings me a lot of joy. And I also know that from the first race I did to the next race I'll do, I've gotten a lot better. I have better endurance. I go better distances. I have better times. I recover better. And it's because I have a lot of experience under my belt. And it's the same with podcast interviews. Now, a lot of people have no clue how to get that first interview. A lot of people have no clue what they should be doing to get opportunities. And that's why I've put together the podcast checklist, the podcast interview checklist, and it's yours absolutely free. All you have to do is click the link below. Just go below in the description on the YouTube channel. It's powerupforprofits.com/checklist. Go to that page. Leave your name and email address. You'll not only get the checklist, you get a really nice training video, absolutely free. And so I encourage you, learn what you need to learn in order to get on podcast shows. And I want you to subscribe to this channel because I'm doing a lot more information on what it takes to be an outstanding podcast guest. Not how to start a podcast show. That's not my deal. That's not my jam, as they say. My jam, my deal is teaching experts how to get lots of visibility by being on lots of podcast shows. With my 100 Club, we actually strive to teach people how to get 100 shows within a very short period of time. Now, keep in mind, Wayne Dyer, when he was out promoting his book, Your Erroneous Zones, he was discovered on an AM radio station in the middle of the night that had very few listeners, and it just so happened the producer of the Johnny Carson show was listening. And the rest, as they say, is history. How often do we think that we have to be on that big, big, big show rather than a lot of little shows? The smaller shows, the more niche shows, the shows that have a real loyal following, those shows can be very beneficial. So go ahead and subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification so you know when other videos come out, and get my podcast checklist. I'll tell you, it's a great checklist. It's about 15 pages of information of exactly what you need to do to prepare to be on podcast shows. And you get a training video with it. Go to powerupforprofits.com/checklist to get your checklist and your training video absolutely free. This is Kathleen Gage, wishing you a great day and lots of success with your podcast show interviews. Have a great day.